Hello everyone and welcome back to my official The GH24 News YouTube channel. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Before we begin, hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Cyrus Renault for good. Selina will strike back with a murderous blow if Cyrus tries to take out her whoreson Brad Cooper. In a recent GH occasion, Brad brazened Cyrus as he spotted him in the sanitarium where he knew that he didn't belong, and hovered to call the police. Cyrus made some defenses for being there indeed when Brad reminded him that co-chief of staff Portia Ashford formally banned him. But if aesthetics could kill, the daggers that Cyrus' eyes were shooting were deadly. It's easy to tell what he was planning. Cyrus now is twice enraged, since not only can he not carry on his charge of mercy murder with cases in the sanitarium. He was formally banned from turning woods as well, and director Paul Ferner wouldn't tell him who was spreading falsehoods about him, although he'd a veritably good idea. Cyrus contemplates whether to end Brad or frame him. Since he does work in the sanitarium lab, he'd have access to the digitalis in the sanitarium. Cyrus has been stealthily lurking, and he's apprehensive of the mistrust Portia has for Brad, although unfortunately, not as important as she has for him. So far, it's been easy to get to the diminutives and masks to disguise himself, and Cyrus knows the sanitarium layout like the reverse of his hand, from his director days. Cyrus also knows that no security cameras live in the sanitarium presently, because he took them all out and they've no way been reinstalled. Indeed, if they were, he knows how to disable them, and when he sneaks in and out, he checks to make sure none are working. Cyrus is smarter than he looks. Cyrus decides to end Brad, and it should be easy. He's such a little scaredy cat anyway, no bone. Would suspect a heart attack, would be convinced with him, or so he thinks. Cyrus knows that Michael Corinthos escaped his kiss of death, so the sanitarium staff is onto him. Jocelyn Jack's poking doesn't help, and neither does Elizabeth Baldwin's. But for now, Brad has gotten on his jitters to the point he has to get relief of him first, Jocelyn and Elizabeth latterly. But he has to take a different method this time, because he has to change his MO, or way of killing. He ain't go to be a person of interest in boggling Brad, and he's fresh out of henchmen to dispatch. He chooses a different type of bane. It's not at all delicate for Cyrus to sneak into the sanitarium break room and slip a deadly bane into Brad's drink. Of course, this time it's not digitalis, it's a different fast-acting agent. It takes a little while to get into Brad's system before he has symptoms, but that's purposeful too. There must be a gap between administration and death. Brad happens to be with his Aunt Selina when he becomes deathly ill, and manages to hyperventilate Cyrus before he passes out. Selina is mealy. Luckily for Brad, he survives. Brad hasn't been on N4, so toxicology tests are done snappily and the correct cure is administered, in N4 but with PCPD standing guard at Portia's request. As for Cyrus, all of a unforeseen, he's set up dead, thanks to Selina's henchman who shot him up with digitalis. Carly Spencer might be diving headfirst into yet another whirlwind love, and this time it's with Jack Brennan. But let's be real, their chemistry is inarguable, and they've been caught in further than one amorous moment. Still, suckers are wondering if this relationship can really stand the test of time, especially with Brennan's shadowy history and Carly's track record with men. Anna Devane and indeed Jason Morgan have expressed their enterprises, intimating at Brennan's less than savory connections and questionable history. Despite the warnings, Carly has chosen to see the good in Brennan, ignoring the signs that this could be another disaster staying to be. Her musketeers' advice about Brennan's implicit ulterior motives seems to fall on deaf cognizance, as Carly's heart leads the way, conceivably bedazzling her to the verity. Jack told Carly he's not using her as an asset. Is that true, and if so, will it remain that way? It's largely doubtful that Jackley will go the distance. The signs are each there, pointing towards an ineluctable split, with Brennan potentially using Carly as a pawn in whatever game he's playing. It probably has commodity to do with her notorious ex-hubs, Sonny. How will she handle herself if the verity comes out and reveals that Jack was using her each on? Can Carly really sustain yet another heartache? And who'll help her pick up the pieces of her broken heart if Jason is else busy tending to Sasha Gilmore Corbin's needs? Is Carly setting herself up for another heartache, or can Brennan truly be the change she's been hoping for? Let's not forget Carly's history with picking the wrong men. From sunny Corinthos to Jasper Jax, and indeed her tumultuous relationship with Drew Quartermaine, Carly has a knack for choosing mates who come with their own baggage. It frequently leads to a rather dramatic fallout. Each relationship has left its mark, with falsehoods, backstabbings, and a roller coaster of feelings. Brennan, with his seems like the rearmost in a long line of choices that might not end well for our cherished Carly. The red flags have been signaling furiously, with musketeers and family trying to warn Carly about Jack and the person they claim he really is under all that Aussie charm. Jason Morgan has a nice relationship with most of his spouses in Port Charles. His portrayer, Steve Burton, is another story. Reports reveal that Burton lately had to head to court again, thanks to his ex-wife, Sherry Gustin. The two first got married in 1999 and had 3 beautiful children together, McKenna and Jack, along with a 10-time-old Brooklyn. Sorely, by 2022, the proverbial drama hit the attic, and the two separated, finishing their divorce in 2023. According to In Touch Weekly, court documents reveal that Burton headed to court in November, claiming his ex-wife violated their divorce agreement. Rewinding a bit, Steve and Sherry's divorce agreement in December outlined the two would partake common, legal, and physical guardianship of the 3 children. Burton was to pay $12,500 in child support each month, where $10,000 was committed to Brooklyn, while $2,500 was for Jack, who was a teenager at the time. In addition, Burton committed to paying Sherry $50,000 yearly, despite his ex-wife signaling her right to conjugal support. Still, Burton filed a stir last November, professing his ex-wife was trying to help him from seeing Brooklyn, which went against their guardianship agreement. He claims that Sherry had revealed a serious interest in shifting to Tennessee from California in May. When she approached, he said that he was okay with moving, as he wanted to be close to his children. By the time hit, Burton alleges that Sherry asked him for a $57,000 loan for closing costs. Believing the move was going to be, Burton terminated a parcel on his home in California, with intentions to dislocate Tennessee. In fact, he repaired his hearthstone in Tennessee, as the family formerly lived there, and requested the tenant heed there to vacate. Burton went on the record stating he lost rental income on his Tennessee property and abnegated from his Days of Our Lives job at the time, where he played Harris Michaels. Burton set up a new job to fit this new living situation. Still, he notes that had Sherry not mentioned shifting, he'd no way have moved back to Tennessee and turned his life upside down to do so. Also, Burton seems the most worried about how Sherry has really complicated my capability to spend time with Brooklyn and to take her to Tennessee for some meaningful moments together. She's indeed claimed that I give her advance notice and seek her authorization before I can enjoy my time with Brooklyn. The court forum also revealed that Sherry has averted Burton's son from traveling to Tennessee, which forces the actor to make passages to California and in trouble to be with his son. Steve states, "While I constantly travel to California for work, I no longer have a hearthstone there since I terminated my parcel when I dislocated to Tennessee." It's been reported that Burton has tried to establish a visit schedule with Brooklyn after he began working with GH again. The main reason he continues to stay in Tennessee is because his son, Jack, loves living there, and doesn't want to move back to California. She also notes that the trip issues for Brooklyn are grounded on the Girl Missing Academy. Sherry also accuses Burton of making plans with Brooklyn before talking to her about them. While Jason has veritably little drama when it comes to his baby mothers in Port Charles, while Burton continues to deal with chaos. Michelle's General Hospital part as Nina Reeves was given to Cynthia Watt-Rose. Yet, there are some suckers out there who suppose Gina should come back to Port Charles. That, or she should have been given the part as Carly Corinthos soon after Tamara Braun left GH. That would have been wild, right? If she can't play Carly, also, some suppose that she should be introduced as a brand new character. Of course, numerous General Hospital suckers have had a lot to say about the matter on social media. Some indeed reflected with the way Gina Tognoni would have ate as Carly when Tamara left. She would have been great. She could have really played that balance between Carly's impulsive, first, messy side and the softer, more mature person she came. Another critic wrote, "Loved Gina. Abominated, they took MS back at YNR and forced Gina out, the same way Billy Miller was forced to come through so SB could return. Still, mentioned when she won the Emmy as Dinah on Guiding Light and that she was in consideration for the part, but it didn't work out. And while it's clearly several times since we've last seen Gina on the oil, the actress has not made any commentary about whether or not she'd be interested in returning to day TV. Watch this space as if there's anything that we've learned about the Cleaner Pieces world, it's that anything can be at any time, right? It goes without saying that suckers will simply have to tune in to find out what will be next. General Hospital airs weekdays on the ABC network. Check your original rosters for times. In the meantime, let us know what you suppose by leaving us a line with your studies in our commentary section below. Also, don't forget to come back right then for all the rearmost news and updates on your favorite celebrities along with the rearmost spoilers from The Bold and the Beautiful, The Young and the Restless, General Hospital and Days of Our Lives.